Welcome to another episode of Overanalyzing Cartoons Massacre, a series where I take a look at a cartoon's massacre completion, or in this case, run, and overanalyze it, showing tips and strategies used, mistakes made, and what you should and shouldn't do when playing this mode. I won't be mentioning literally everything since I'll be going under the assumption that you have read through my guide and have a good understanding of it. It's what I would normally do, but in this case, it's a bit different. It's quite a bit different because of the way these runs were done, like the situation surrounding both of the runs I'll be covering in this video. So I'll be mentioning a bit more about my guide compared to the other episodes, more about the basics and all that. But yeah, I'm going to be comparing this run to a theoretical perfect version of this exact run to help you further understand this challenge. I also want to clarify that I'm not making these videos to hate on the person playing or saying the run sucks. It's understandable why they're playing like this. The week would have your three modes have so much going on that it makes it almost humanly impossible to play these modes perfectly. I just want to make this video and the series as a whole to show what mistakes you may make when doing this challenge, as truly understanding this challenge can really help you become a lot better and consistent at beating this. This is just one of those FNAF challenges where anything and everything can happen, with an absurd amount of situations that can happen, which makes it easy to call this challenge RNG. So I made this series as a way to help players fully understand this challenge because in reality, while every situation is affected by RNG, the challenge really is just being able to think fast and quickly adapt to anything that can happen, and if you're good at doing so in this challenge, then it isn't nearly as RNG as you may think. But still, RNG does play a crucial role in varying the difficulty of many situations that can happen. So, only the first part of this video has a script. I didn't prepare a script for anything else, so if there's something I missed or should have mentioned, then I will leave a pinned comment and talk about all of what I missed and should have mentioned. But I do prepare notes for these videos, so I shouldn't miss too much. So, alright, that's it. Let's finally get to the completion video. So, if you have, heard earlier, this will be a bit more of a special episode. Usually within these episodes, I cover one run, one completion. But in this situation, I wanted to do something different because this situation, for these runs, is completely different, which will make it a bit more unique compared to my other episodes. In that, these two runners, Iamnothere and Exploreman, these were submissions for the max mode of the week in the max mode list server. And if for those who don't know what max mode of the week is, essentially, like the basic understanding is that there's a max mode that will be chosen by someone who has qualified to choose a max mode. Then players will be need anyone who wants to participate in max mode will have to beat that max mode, or if it's too hard, then just get to a certain point in that max mode, and then you'll have completed the challenge and you'll get a few rewards like some rolls or whatnot. But yeah, Cartoon's Massacre was actually chosen as max mode of the week by Jemmy a while back. That was like last year, I think. That was a long time ago, but as you will see in this episode, I will be explaining why this was not a good idea. This max mode is not at all fit for max mode of the week because you only have 1 week to beat the max mode or beat the challenge surrounding the max mode, and that is not nearly enough time to learn this challenge. So, I mean, fortunately for this challenge, they did think it was too hard and it had to be nerfed. That you only have to get to 3 a.m. in order to beat the max mode of the week for the week. So they didn't have to do much, and because of that, I will be reviewing these videos a bit differently. Specifically, for the first one, I am not here, like his run here. I will be reviewing it as if he needed to get to 3 a.m. and not to beat the entire thing, which will make strategy a bit different. Not too much, but except for Exploreman. Actually, I'll be honest, I originally planned to review 3 runs today. I originally planned to review Exploreman, I am not here, and also Bongo Cat's run. But for Bongo Cat's run, there's two things. I already reviewed his completion a while ago. And also, even then, I still want to review it, but even here, his max mode of the week run is a bit weird because there's a actually, I'm not even gonna explain it. If you know what the video is, then you probably already know. I don't recommend watching it because it's a bit odd what happens throughout the video. But yeah, I'll only be covering 2 runs. And as I was saying earlier, I will review I'm Not Here's run differently because 3 minutes is the threshold you're trying to reach. But for Exploreman was actually trying to beat the challenge before giving up eventually because it was too complicated and all that. He wasn't having fun. That's fine. But yeah, I'll be reviewing Exploreman run as if he was trying to beat the challenge, as if like the goal is to beat the challenge and not just to get to 3 a.m. So I'll be reviewing these two runs a bit differently, but essentially these play out quite a bit differently compared to the other episodes I've reviewed. So finally, without enough like yapping around, let's finally get to the completion video, and let me adjust my screen a little bit. There you go, and let's go. Oh crap, it's a bit loud. Hold on. I forgot to adjust the volume here. Good. Okay, let's go. The first run, Iamnothere's run. So, right off the bat, of course, he changes temperature to 80, of course, for Zach, and for dealing with Dom. Now, actually, normally I would talk about how I prefer, like, changing temperature to 40, and for a few reasons. But here, it's because he's trying to reach 3 a.m., the goal, it's actually better to have it stay at 80, the, like, temperature first. And actually, honestly, because of how Zach works, you can like leave temperature at 80 the entire night, like to get to 3 a.m. because Zach can be like dealt with in the window by closing the lights for 4 times, so he wouldn't have enough time to make it to your office. It's 3 minutes you have to survive. It's not that bad, so it's actually fine. Changing it to 80 is actually better than 40 in this situation. But I mean, this also applies with Exploreman or like later, but here he keeps the lights off. Which, if you want to change temperature to 80 faster, you would want to keep the lights on first, then turn the lights off once it reaches 80. But I mean, it's fine. It's very minor change, very minor adjustment, so not a big deal. It's just something I also prefer doing because you get to slow down these characters a bit faster. Yeah, it's fine. Doesn't matter that much anyways. Right here, he's going to the cameras with the lights off. I mean on. The lights are on, he's going to the cameras. Go back a bit. The temperature is at 75. You could have kept the lights off while going on the cameras. Because like again, if the lights are off, then going on the cameras will make the camera error not happen as much. The camera error will happen less often if you go on the cameras with the lights on. I mean no, off. If the lights are on and you go on the camera error will happen a bit more frequently. And if it's off, then the error will not happen as much. So, this is a minor adjustment you could do if you want to struggle less with errors. As much as possible, go to the cameras with the lights off. It's not always better. There are some situations where it's better to have the lights on when going on the cameras, but this is not one of it. It's the very beginning of the night, and you could have adjusted your place a little bit by not going to the cameras with the lights on, but having it be off before going to the cameras. And wait, actually, let me just look at that. Right there. Already, the lights are on, he goes in the cameras, and already a signal meter dropped. It used to be three signal meter over here, and now it's 2. You see how fast the camera signal can just drop when you have the lights on? It's very fast. So, he could have still been at 3 camera signal if he had the lights off when going to the cameras. It sounds minor, but it really isn't. This could be the difference between life and death for you in the near future, so if you wanna watch, like, go watch Ruben X's run or overanalyze Ruben's like completion of Cartoon's Massacre. He does this for the entire challenge, and he barely got any camera errors throughout the entire thing, like 2 or 3 camera errors. That was really good of Ruben X to do that. Although I will admit there were like some situations where he shouldn't have had the lights off and actually had it on when going on the cameras, but he did really good on that. So I recommend checking out his run because it's a pretty good run, I'd say. Yeah, again, he's going on the cameras with the lights on, not good. I would have the lights off when dealing with Matty again. Like, he's having it kind of backwards. He's turning off the lights when in the office, and when going on the cameras, he has the lights on. That's kind of backwards. You want it to be the other way around. Because also, again, you have to remember, Darknet later on, Darknet will become a problem, and Darknet will only attack in the window if you are looking at the cameras with the lights on. So, to minimize him doing the attack, just have the lights off, so he'll do attack in his ghost form, and it'll be a lot easier. Here with Darknet, nothing much going on. Jeff is still there, so he can wait. Tom has moved, so if you look at his playtime, he's not checking the vents radar much. Even though it's the beginning of the night, it's good to know where Tom goes. If, as you saw there, Tom left. Tom is no longer in this camera, in camera 2A, and I would check the vents radar to see where Tom goes. Because from this camera, Tom will either go to the top vent or in camera 3B. 3B or 4B? I think it's 3B. Either way, that's the second floor shock camera. So, if you check the vents radar, you can see if Tom is gonna go in through the long route or the short route. The long route being the top vent, short route being the bottom vent. So if Tom is at the top vent at this point when you check the vents radar, then that means that Tom is gonna, yeah, Tom is gonna go that way, of course, obviously. But if he's not in the top vent, then Tom will soon attack at the bottom vent. So you'd have to overheat him. And when he's at the top vent, that's good. Don't overheat Tom in the top vent. That's a mistake that pretty much everyone makes for some reason. Right here, Tom is at the top vent, and I am not here. He's gonna overheat it. Bad idea. But in all fairness, this was not, this run was recorded before I updated my guide, so I clarified a bit more in my guide, so it's understandable why he didn't pay attention to that. But yeah, Tom, there, don't overheat him because I mean I've explained many times why you shouldn't overheat Tom in top vents. It's been a while since I've explained, so I'll explain it again just because I feel like it's important to clarify for people who are watching this who might have not seen the other episodes before. So the reason why you should not let Tom or the reason why you should not overheat Tom when he's in the top vent, like let him go through intentionally, is because of the way his path works. If Tom goes through the top vent, he will then go to camera 2A, which for those who don't know, that's the camera outside the shattered hiding spot, or the shattered usually say. It's a camera 2A, like the second, like the top middle camera. And when Tom is at the camera, Tom will either go to the right vent in the vent radar, or he will go to camera 3A, invisible though, in darkness room, and then he will finally go to the left vent, where then he will either go to the bottom or right. So after that, that's when he'll attack. So as you can see, Tom takes a long time to attack when going to the top vent. So if you intentionally let Tom go through the top vent, then that's good because you won't have to deal with him for a little while, and of course, since he's closer to your office, it'll be easier to hear him enter the vent. So not only will he take longer to attack you, so you won't have to deal with Tom as much and like risk less with Tom, you'd also be able to hear if Tom is entering the vent. It's a lot more noticeable than normally, so pretty much it's only advantage you have when laying Tom through to top vent. There's no reason why you shouldn't, aside from making your life harder, I guess, but yeah. And the way he's moving, he's like, he's we went to Venture again. I'd like to play this back. Watch his mouth movement. You can, yeah. One thing I didn't mention, I'll mention it now because I think now's a good time. Exploreman and Iamnothere, since they were given only a week to beat these challenges, they didn't have time to go to the main game. So of course, they used a 100% save file and went straight to the custom night as their only experience in this game. And as you can see, you can tell he has like very little experience with the gameplay of A Week with Javier Tree because of the way he moves his mouse. He's not it's like he's confused. He's like not sure what to do a lot of the time. He's going to the vent radar, then he checks no one's there, he goes back to the map, and he goes back to the vent radar again. He's like confused. The Mike is attacking. I think his main priority should be looking for Mike in the cameras, but he keeps switching between the vent radar and the regular cam. He go back here. Not there, and he goes back to the cameras and go back to the vent radar, then that's when he finally decides to check for the Mike. Now, this gameplay only really happens if you are like if you're not that experienced with the game. So I personally absolutely do not recommend using a 100% save file for this game. It will hinder your learning a lot. Like the learning curve will be way higher. You'll have to learn so much, and it'll be so much harder to learn if you use a 100% save file. Yeah, if you're, cause like yeah, if you're learning from the custom night or like learning from the hardest challenge right away, it's gonna be really hard, especially with how much new information you're given. Because of course, this game is very complicated, like so much going on. And also, I guess I also feel like before I continue, I need to like clarify further that none of what I'll be saying is gonna be entirely their fault. Iamnothere and Exploreman. It's not gonna be their fault what I'm gonna be saying about their run. Because of course, this challenge was part of an event which can punish players for failing to complete the challenge. Which, if you don't know, in Max One of the Week, that event has like a streak system where if you win multiple times in a row, then you'll get a streak. And you'll get like a bunch of cool rolls and all that. Like I'm not sure what you get entirely for keeping your streak up, but it's good. And naturally, players who want to keep their streak, they are pretty much forced to do these challenges. And because of the nature of this challenge, this challenge Garden Massacre, it really was a bad choice for this type of event, especially with a very short amount of time you're given to learn this. Those who were forced to play this one because they want to keep their streak, like Iamnothere and Exploreman, they had a terrible experience with this game and its Maximo challenge, which is why Cartoon's Massacre should have never been chosen as Maximo of the Week, but it's too late now, and all we can really do is learn from these two experiences that we had. So that's about it. I'll be continuing on with the run. I just want to like clarify that just in case. I'll go through with it. Then we're gonna start searching for Mike. Yeah, good thing he had his lights off. That's also good to have, but as you can see, his temperature is a bit high, which is fine. If your temperature is like 100, it's okay. Unless you have to change temperature soon, but he doesn't. So it's fine. Like as you can see, he's like shaking his mouse around like the camera system a bit awkwardly. It's a bit weird. He's checking the bomb shot camera, but if you go back, I'll go back a little bit to here. If you notice, wait a bit. Oh, right there. Did you see it? For a split second. There you can see it. Shattered milk and yogurt are currently in camera 4B. This means that they are gonna attack on the second floor, and you don't really have a reason to check the first floor shock camera at least, or at least unless like someone like yeah. You don't have to go on the first floor. This is naturally really good if this happens. If Shadow Milk and Yogurt are on the second floor, this is a really good situation to be in. But yeah, after the delivery bite, of course, he didn't notice this. He didn't pay attention. I am not here. He was focusing on dealing with Mike, the mice Mike, instead of like focusing on the cameras. But really, it's really good if you pay attention to things like that to see like while dealing with device Mike looking for him, you can like pay attention to your surroundings, to the other camera, so you can see the progress of the other characters, see where they're at. Because if I am not here, if he noticed that Sharon and Yogurt were on the second floor, he wouldn't be wasting his time checking the first floor later on. I'll play it again. Hold on, let me check. I'll play it again. He set the cameras, he's confused. He checked the camera, Milk's not there, he wouldn't have to, but there, he checked the first floor. This overall wastes quite a bit of time. And of course, if you've learned from one of my more recent episodes, it's it's like bad to have time wasted like this. Because of course, errors can happen and all that. You could spend the time doing something else. But yeah, overall, he didn't have to check his cameras, he was paying more attention about it. Yeah, as you can see, he is not checking the ventilator at all. If you look at the way he plays, he still has not checked the ventilator after what, like 10 seconds? You should never, and I mean never, go 10 seconds without checking the ventilator. You have to check the ventilator as much as possible. If you're struggling with Tom that much, then that's why you're not checking the ventilator as much. And I say every time, and I mean almost every time you open the cameras, you should check the ventilator in that like camera thing, whatever you'd call it. Cam cycle anyways. In that cam cycle you should check the ventilator. Like I need to emphasize this like every time. Please check the ventilator. Check it as much as you can. If you don't want to struggle with Tom or Mr. Springlock as much, please check the ventilator as much as possible. Any downtime should be spent checking the ventilator and doing other important things I guess. But yeah, check it. Ventilator, super important. Yeah, he's still not checking the ventilator. The rabbit is attacking camera error. And right here, camera error happened. If you were experienced enough, you could start repairing the camera error before dealing with the Ravager. Like he's waiting for the Ravager's footsteps to get faster, but if you know how long it takes for the Ravager to like take, it's usually around the same time, and usually you would have enough time to repair the camera system before dealing with the Ravager. This could have saved a bit more time, and this could have helped, but it's fine. It's a small thing. Another reason why experience matters in this challenge. You really need to have a lot of experience to be able to beat this. My smile is not really good. Check the vent radar right now. Check it. Vent radar, but no, it's not checking it. At least he plays the audio lure. That's also good. Losing Jeff is easy with this type of challenge, especially if temperature is at 80 or something. So it's also a good priority to deal with. Like Jeff is also a high priority, but again, check the vent radar. He didn't check the vent radar at all. Yeah, he has not checked the vent radar in a while. There's Tom. He's lucky temperature is set to 80. If the temperature was not 80, then he wouldn't have seen Tom is still here at the bottom shot camera. Tom is slow at 80 temperature, and yeah, didn't do that much. But oh, unfortunately, as you can see, Tom clearly has made it through the bottom vent. I don't know what Iamnothere is thinking. Iamnothere, he saw. Wait, if I go back a bit, I'll go back to when he overheated. There. Both Shattered you will have here and Tom are in these two vent in the vent radar. You overheat normally, yes, you overheat Shattered you will have here first. And then you take a little bit of time doing something else, and then you would go back and overheat Tom in the vent, but he didn't do that. I have no idea why. It was very easy to notice Tom was there at the bottom vent. You should always overheat him there every time. There's no exception to that. You should always overheat Tom the bottom vent. But he didn't do that. I think he might have forgotten. And again, that's not something that would normally happen if you had experience. So experience matters. Yada yada. You get the deal. Yeah, because that Tom, he's at the bottom shock camera. First floor shock camera. Tom is here. Not good. Now, he's about to shock Tom, right? Tom is clearly visible in this camera, and of course, you have to shock him, right? No, he does not shock Tom. I'm pretty sure, he doesn't shock Tom because, Tom right there, he didn't notice, which is, I mean, fine, but again, experience matters. You would have been easy to notice that if he knew all the camera positions of all the characters. But he could have saved himself, but he didn't shock him. Now he shocks Shattered Milk and Yogurt in that camera there, gets rid of them. You may notice he's still not dealing with Tom in the bottom shock camera, right? Tom is still there, and normally Tom would kill you, right? Now you have here do that. Notice, Tom still has not killed him. And I reviewed the footage, Tom never killed him, and his position completely got reset. How? Now, you may be thinking, how is that possible? Tom was at that camera, normally you have to shock him or else he'll kill you. But he didn't actually shock him, and Tom still managed to go away. And this is when I discovered something very interesting. I did not know about this until I reviewed this run before this recording. But if Tom is there at the bottom shock camera, you can actually get rid of him by shocking the top floor, the second floor shock camera, like the camera on camera 3B, I think it's called. If you shock that camera, then if Tom is at the bottom camera, camera 7A, then he will go away. You don't actually have to shock Tom on the same camera. As long as you use the shock, then Tom will go away. Like any shock works. Tom in that bottom camera goes away. I did not know about it. I'm pretty sure this is a bug because this does not happen with Milk and Yogurt. Shattered Milk and Yogurt, it doesn't happen with them. So I'm pretty sure this is a bug for that to happen. A weird bug, but quite interesting actually. Hey, even I learned something new while reviewing these runs. That's pretty good. But yeah, this wouldn't have even happened in the first place if he checked the vent radar enough. But check the vent radar, overheat down. Yeah, we get the deal. It really shows the importance because like even with 80 temperature, Tom manages to slide through the bomb vent and managed to go to camera 7A. You really have to check the ventilator that much, even with 80 temperature. Because again, if you remember, 80 temperature slows Tom, but with Tom being slow, he still managed to get through. You have to check the ventilator as much as possible. I clarify this like 100 times because I always see people making this mistake. It's fine. But yeah, actually, now that I've done talking about that, I'll go back. I'll go back a little bit now that I'm done talking about that small thing right there. I go back a little bit here. I don't know here. One, two, three, like pretty much 4 seconds. He was on the camera for 4 seconds with the lights on. This was risky because like Darknet takes approximately 4 seconds to attack you if he from the moment he starts rising from the window here. Because again, lights are on. Darknet attack will be the window attack if he happens to attack. So yeah, if Darknet was attacking at the start of the time he opened the camera, then he would have died. I am not here would have died to Darknet. That would have been bad. So. That was risky. Don't stay on the cameras for 4 seconds or longer if the lights are on. This is for Darknet. Nice, Narca again. This seems to be a common like misconception with like the max mode list people. But yeah, there's also something Bongo Rat did. Bongo Rat, whatever, however you wanna pronounce it. Yeah, he put his mouse on the mice Mr. Monarca. This is not required. This is only required for the mice to have here, but for the mice Mr. Monarca, just look towards this direction until he goes away. You don't need to have your camera on his body. You can if you want, like it's better to put your mouse on the switch, the light switch, so that as soon as Mr. Monarca goes away, turn off the lights, then go in the cameras, and that's maximum efficiency right there. Again, he's on. Again, he's going on the camera with the lights on, not good. Camera errors happen more often. And again, he's not checking the vent radar. And yeah, a bit weird. Again, this comes from a lack of experience, but he tries to wind Jack's music box with the meter itself. You have to wind the box. Like this wouldn't happen if you had experience, but he was a bit slow with the yeah, he needs to wind Jack's box a bit earlier. He misses his click on the wing a little bit. Wind his box all the way, and because of how long it took him to deal with Jared Jack and the mice Mike being in the office, the best thing to do here in the situation is to intentionally let yourself get jump scared by the mice Mike and make sure you have the camera system in the process of repairing before getting jump scared by the mice Mike. Because this is important. I will talk about this later. Yeah, Wait, does this was a really, really bad choice. The mic breaks the camera system. He goes on the cameras the second the mic attacks. I think he was thinking he might be able to find the mic's head in time or face, but no. His kill timer is not that long. It's better to intentionally let yourself get jump scared by him, and before getting jump scared by the mic, make sure you have the camera the system like repairing before getting jump scared by him, because when the mice character jump scares you, the effect applies right away. So the mic jump scare right here, the camera error already it happened. So if the mic jump scares you and the system is still repairing, by the time that the jump scare animation finishes playing, the camera system will already be back up and there will be no more error. So essentially, you will not have to deal with the camera error at all if you just repair the camera system before the jump scare, which it's a really, really helpful tip, especially if you have to do quick actions in the camera system like right away. So I recommend doing that more often. But yeah, especially if you're getting intentionally jump scared. But yeah, something that could save you a lot of time and resources overall. Right now it's like past the 2 minute mark. At this point, 2 a.m. he should change temperature, but because you only have to make it 3 a.m., you don't have to. You can keep the temperature at 80, and you'll be able to survive from Zack. And yeah, as you can see, really lucky here. He overheats the right vent, and both Mr. Springlock and Tom are at this vent at the same time. This is kind of rare, actually, so pretty good. Pretty damn rare. Yeah, it's 225. He still hasn't changed down to 40, but going. Yeah, he changed the temperature to 40. I think his plan, I am not here, his original plan was to beat the max mode itself, which is why he's not doing the strategy of just keeping temperature at 80 the entire time, but he was way too late here. It's already over half a minute later compared to when he changed temperature, like, when he's supposed to change temperature. It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You need to change temperature every 2 minutes, not 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And he got lucky that Zack is not yet at the window, because normally at this time, Zack can be at the window. But yeah, pretty lucky that he didn't get attacked by Zack yet, so good. Good job. Ignore that, he didn't get. He missed his button presses for Shattered Triangle a lot. Again, this comes with experience. You wouldn't be this low with her if you had dealt with her a lot in the past and you know how her hitboxes work. Because I will say, again, Shattered Triangle's hitboxes are weird. It's not entirely fully accurate. It's a bit off-centered. But you have to work your way around that. You have to adjust to that. And you would have enough time to adjust if you had dealt with her a lot. But of course, starting from 150 file. Return time. Demise Mindy. The biggest skill check character in the game. I will admit, I think Demise Mindy, besides Shattered Triangle, Demise Mindy and Shattered Triangle work similarly in that they're very, like, tough skill checks that occur throughout the night. If you have to be really fast with Demise Mindy, of course, this is not a problem if you're experienced with Demise Mindy, but again, this challenge is easier with experience, yada yada. You need good experience if you want to be able to tackle this challenge effectively. But Demise Mindy especially will be a big roadblock for you if you start from a 100% save file, so don't. Play the game normally. I know the game's long, but you should not be thinking of FNAF games for only their max mode. I don't like players who think of FNAF games as literally only the max mode and nothing else. I don't want to get into this too, because like this is a kind of a controversial opinion I have regarding max moders, but just something I thought I'd mention. Don't go into this game thinking of only the max mode, because that will hinder your experience playing the game. I've met a few people who played A Week Would Have Your Tree thinking of nothing but the max mode. They go to the main story and everything, but like, oh gosh, I have to go through this like long ass story. I just all this just to unlock the max mode, the custom line, blah 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 blah. Don't think of it like this. This is a bad mindset to have. FNAF games are more than just their max modes, guys. I didn't. Yeah, I ramble on too much. Sorry. I don't want to talk about that. You know what? I'm sorry. I talked about a little bit about that. I kind of have a little thing for max mode. Yeah, I'm keeping it to myself. I'm not gonna say anything more about it. Oh yeah, Shadow will have your in the vents system preparing. So cool. This is kind of risky, but your camera shouldn't break at this time. So, because if we look before, if we go back to last time he went to the camera. Camera signal that's too far. It's good. He's not gonna die to the Shadow Evil have your combo with the camera error if he's fast enough here. Go. Go. Camera error right now. Ventilator now. He played the audio lore first. You can hear Shadow Evil have here just enter the vent, right? And of course, I also have to mention this every time, but Shadow Evil have your in events. Number one priority. Don't care about anything else. If Shadow Evil have your in the event, always deal with that right away. But he plays the audio first. He's playing himself. He's okay. Let me like. Now, at this point, I would have already overheated Shadow Evil Javier. At this point. That's how fast you have to be with him. But he takes one, two. He takes 3 seconds longer than the optimal time dealing with Shadow Evil Javier. He takes a while. Like really, he takes a long time dealing with Shadow Evil Javier in event, and of course, this is why he died. It's too late. If he was 1 second earlier, but again, he should be way faster with dealing with the vent overheating thing with him. But yeah, he's now in the office, and this is how he loses this run. Unfortunately, it is what it is. At least he made the 3 a.m. So that's all that matters really in this maximum of the week. As long as you make it 3 a.m., then you pass. Now, I would say 4 a.m. is a lot better because you don't even have time for people to attack you much yet. But I mean, I gotta give them some slack. This mode should have never been chosen as maximum of the week in the first place. So I gotta give them some slack. Yeah, it's totally fine that the completion is set to 3 a.m. for the completion. But yeah, he passed the challenge. Congrats. Even though he suffered quite a lot with doing this challenge. Congrats to I am not here to for passing maximum of the week for this week. And yeah, yeah, that's all. But yeah, that's all for I am not here's run. I recommend checking him out. If you're into maximum completion videos, then I recommend checking out his channel. It's pretty cool. Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. You can yeah, you know, he does some really hard challenges. He does some of the hardest challenges. He focuses a lot on extremely hard challenges, but of course he focuses a lot on math for the week as well. That's why he's doing this. But yeah, pretty cool guy. I recommend checking him out. He's a nice person, and yeah, that's all. I'll now be move. I'll okay wait. Normally, I actually would go to Exploreman's run, but I have to remember I have to reanalyze the run first because that's what I do in every episode. After reviewing the run itself, I reanalyze the run to see if I missed anything. So I'll be back, guys. I'll just be reviewing this run again. So I'll see y'all when I get to that. Okay. One thing I will point out that I didn't even notice, but this is insane to me. But for the past 56 seconds, he did not check the vents radar once until now. So basically, I'm not here. He went almost a full minute without checking the vent radar. Obviously, this is terrible. This is really bad. I talk about not going 10 seconds without checking the vent radar, but I'm not here. He pushed it above and beyond and went 56 whole seconds without checking the vent radar. Because, look, the last time he checked the vent radar is right here, 130, and then he doesn't check for this entire thing. So, that's not good, of course. I'm honestly surprised he's alive. The amount of luck, actually. This is a very lucky run. He managed to survive a lot of situations where he would have died. Of course, yeah. You can say, if you're playing this way and, you survive a lot of it's quite insane for him to now. Yeah. He just got lucky and able to survive. Even if you play the worst you can. If your gameplay is as if it's the first time you're playing the game, it's possible that you get lucky enough to beat the challenge after beating night 2. As long as you know how everyone works, if you get lucky enough, then it's still possible. Hey, you could utilize some glitches on accident or bugs that I haven't never heard of to beat the challenge. Hey, something I find I'm sure it'll show that the difficulty really is highly dependent on our because of how easy this run ends up being, but until 3M, 3M is when the run started to get hard, and that's when it dies. The moment it stopped being easy, that's when, yeah. The oxygen font, he was repairing the oxygen font alarm, and Shadow will have yours in event. You could be like, what was I supposed to do? Well, that's a hard combo. There are a lot more combos that are that difficult that will happen throughout the challenge. you're lucky, you will not encounter any of them. But typically, you'll encounter at like 2 or 3 hard combos on average every Cartoon's Massacre run. So you have to really know how to do every combo. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Uh, Make sure you have a good amount of experience before tackling this challenge. It really matters. I even know there's like a few people who have beaten this challenge without ever knowing about my guide's existence. So they use their own game's knowledge, their own experience to like formulate a strategy that they could use to pass the challenge on their own. Like it really goes to show, even without my guide, you could still beat this challenge relatively fine if you have enough experience and if you are good enough handling everyone and with enough knowledge. Because yeah, I could name at least 2 people who did not utilize my guide in any way, and they still managed to win. So hey, you never know. Yeah, you just have to make sure you play the entire game first, and then you can make sure you won't be making any weird mistakes. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Iamnothere's run. Again, I want to clarify, I'm not hating on this run. I'm not saying it sucks or anything. Of course, it's not his fault and all that. He's a cool person. I'm not like disliking him or anything. He's cool. He managed to like pull all this off and managed to come up with a run like this. Managed to get far. Pretty good. Check out his channel again. I will leave the link of the channel, the creators that I'll be reviewing in the link of in the description of this video. I'll link their channel, so I recommend checking them out if you're into maximum completion videos. But yeah, that's it for I Not Here's run. And now I will be transferring over to Exploreman's run. I'll give you guys a little bit. I'll be back in a short while. Alright, now we're in Exploreman's run. Now, this video is a lot quieter than I Am Not Here's run, so I apologize if you're not able to hear it very well, but I'm trying my best to make sure it's understandable. I raised the volume up, so hopefully it'll be easier for you guys to hear the run itself, but yeah, I'll be over analyzing it the same way, any either way. And yeah, this is him trying to actually beat the challenge. Now he already passed maximum of the week, and he just wants to go further and beat the challenge itself. So I'll be analyzing this run more on the side of as if he wants to beat the challenge, as if the goal is to get to 7 a.m. So yeah, that's it. I'll be starting off the run now. Not much I could say here, except of course the same circumstances as I am not here's run. Exploreman, he used a 100% save file. He lacks in experience, so this is gonna hinder his playstyle a lot. Like I am not here's run, but yeah. So to get over it, this video, he actually managed to get to 5 a.m., which is pretty good for someone who started from 100% save file. That's pretty good. He clearly learned a bit more. He is able to like study the characters are able to like formulate techniques. He was able to make use of certain things a bit more. So that's good. He spent more time in this max mode. He was willing to give it a shot, but unfortunately, he didn't complete the challenge. He kind of gave up eventually. But yeah, I'll be reviewing it right now. Night 8, Flash Default, loading dot dot dot. So, at the start of the run, you might notice, this is kind of rare, but he actually has temperature set to 40. He sets his temperature to 40 to 80 like the other runs. This is something I would do. And because he's trying to beat the challenge as if, so I'll be explaining why I prefer setting it to 40. So, the reason why, me personally, I prefer setting the temperature to 40 is because if if of course you're gonna have to change temperature every 2 minute mark, right? And if you're changing it to 40, it's like harder to change temperature to 40 as opposed to changing temperature to 80. Because if you remember, if you want to change the temperature to 80, if you want to make it a higher temperature, then you can just overheat the vent and it'll speed up the process by quite a bit. This will help have temperature be at 80 faster. And because like if you change temperature to 80 now, you're doing the easy part now. Like if you want to change temperature to 40 later on, it'll be harder because if you have to overheat someone in the vent, that'll delay the process a bit, and also like generally it's just harder overall to change temperature to 40 because of overheat stuff. You can't use the overheat technique to make temperature go down faster. No, it doesn't. It's not how it works. So if you set temperature to 40 now and set temperature to 80 later on while everything is going on, it'll be faster and Zack will be less of a problem. Or there's less risk with Zack anyways, so that's why I have the temperature set to 40 first, personally. But once again, this is such a minor thing. This does not affect your run that much either way, so it's fine what temperature you want to set it to anyway, so it's okay. And yeah, similar to Iamnothere's run, he turns off the lights while temperature is going down to 40. Ideally, you want the lights to be on when setting temperature to like 40 at the beginning of the night, because you could slow Jeff down more with this, and it's overall a good thing to do. Slowing Jeff down more will risk losing Jeff less. It'll like have less risk with losing Jeff, and of course, you could play the audio lore later for Jeff because he's moving slower. So yeah, overall, you could save a little bit of time with this. But again, minor thing, doesn't have to be something you do every time.
I am Spade.
So yeah, this is very quiet. I wish I could make the volume higher, but I can't. It's fine though. But yeah, as you can see, hallucination. Wait, can I pause it for a second? Hold on. Not good enough. I want a different pause. No. I want to like pause it at the mic. Yeah, good enough. Hallucinations. There are these hallucinations showing up. Now, if you know how demise characters work, then these hallucinations can only appear when a demise character is currently attacking, but as you can see, hey, wait a second. There's no demise character attacking, but these hallucinations are still showing up. What's happening, Wolfie? Well, actually, this happens because demise triangle is currently in the camera system, and it's currently awaiting for you to open the cameras and deal with her. So, of course, if you know about the recent patch, it prevents a cheese. Like, before back then, it's possible to cheese the challenge by just never opening the cameras for the mice angle, and then she'll never attack you, and this stalls a lot of characters. But here, there's an anti-cheese system where if you don't look at the cameras and the mice angle is attacking, if you don't look at the cameras fast enough, then the mice angle will automatically attack, and she will automatically appear at the window over here. And of course, you have to repair the star system. Not good. Repairing something this early on, not a good thing. So what you want to do in this situation is you have to open the cameras and close it right after. That way you could get rid of the mice angle right away. And yeah, that could have helped. You not checking the cameras this much, it'll make the mice angle attack in the window shortly after. But fortunately, he got lucky. Exploreman got lucky that the mice angle didn't have enough time to materialize in the office, so he had enough time to open the cameras, notice that they were there, and close it right after. Pretty darn good. Pretty lucky. Now, Jeff's still there. The audio lord very good. You can wait a bit later till you play the audio lord. That's fine. Check the adventure are good. Jeff left, so you can now play the audio lord. Yeah, this saves time with Jeff. Pretty good. Oh, you see that? Right there. Very quick. Right there. A small little flash. Mr. Monarca, or not Mr. Monarca, but Tom. Right there. Tom is at the bottom vent. It's hard to notice, but for a blink of a second, he's right there. Now, overheat him right away, right? But he doesn't do that because Exploreman does not notice. This could have saved him a little bit of time had he noticed, but yeah. Okay. He checks again and there. Now he overreads Tom because he notices, and yeah. You could have overread him earlier, save a little bit of time, and it's fine. So again, like, even though you can save a little bit of time here and there, you have to remember every single second doesn't matter. What you spend the time on matters. Idling is a bad idea. So I'll explain why later when he does so, but for now it's fine. He's idling because nothing's happening yet. There. Right here, he's looking for Sharon Window. He's like, wait, I haven't seen Sharon looking over in a while. It's almost 1 a.m. I have to check the cameras now to like see where they are. So he checks, right? Sharon looking over, it's not on the floor. Now, first thing first, I would have checked camera. I would have checked the camera right here. As you can see, if you see my mouse, like the camera to the right of the camera he's currently at, I would have checked this first and seen if Sharon McNulty is there. Because almost a minute has passed, and obviously, they would have enough time to move to one of their positions, one of their paths. So you can count to be check this camera to see if they are there. If Shattered Milk and Yogurt is not in this camera too, then that means they are gonna attack at the first floor, guaranteed. So check these two cameras, and you won't have to worry about checking the first two cameras that much. Only the shock camera, because you know, it's back in there, of course. It's fine, he checks here anyways. And as you can see, right here, he checks camera 5A, and look at that. You can see them right there. Shattered milk and yogurt. They're the hair of milk, and a little bandage wrapped around her head. You can see it right here. It's pretty clear to see. But Exploreman, he continues going through the camera. He doesn't notice, it seems. So, yeah, if you had paid more attention, you could have noticed that they were at that camera, and you could have saved more time. Again, saving time, all that stuff. Yeah, as you can hear, I'm gonna go back a little bit. Shadow Evil have here just banged the vent. Now, what I would do is instantly go to the vent radar, like right away. He spent a little bit of time doing other things first. He stalls him out a little bit, then overheat him a little bit later. This was risky because look, his camera signal was at 1 meter. This could have ended his run. If he had a camera error right before overheating Shadow Evil have here, he would have died, guaranteed. So you really have to be faster dealing with him. You have to be as fast as you can. Make sure you load him very fast so that you won't risk the error from happening. So yeah. Right here, I will say, like, the main problem with Iamnothere's run was not checking the vent radar enough. But this one, it's not as big of a deal, but check the maintenance panel. It's good to check the maintenance panel every now and then, just so you can see if the audio error has appeared. If the audio error is there, you can repair it early, then that'll be overall really good. Like, he spends, like, the Ravager attack, but he spends every second of it, like, just waiting for the Ravager, not doing anything else. It would have been better to, like, do a few actions before getting rid of the Ravager, so. Like, for example, check the maintenance panel. Check the maintenance panel while the Ravager is attacking, and then if the audio error is happening, you can repair the audio system while dealing with the Ravager, and once you're done dealing with the Ravager, then you'll have your audio back. Simple as that. And yeah, he does lose a lot. Exploreman, he does not check the main panel at all. Only when there's an error is when he usually checks it. And it's like, it's okay, but like, it would make your run a bit easier if you're able to predict the audio error, like seeing when it happens. So I would recommend checking the main panel a lot on your free time, downtime, all that. I think it would have also been better if you checked the vent radar during the Ravager's attack. You have enough time to do both actions, so check the vent radar, check the main panel, and then deal with the Ravager afterwards. That's the ideal situation. Yogurt. And yeah, right here, he's idling in the office. He's sitting here doing nothing. This, once again, I have to say, this is a bad idea. Don't idle around, especially with how much that you could currently do at this moment to make your run a bit easier later on. You could do a few things. You could, like, see a word Jeff, if the audio is still playing, if the audio is still playing, if anyone in the vent radar, if it's like the main spam all good. Is Shattered Milk and Yogurt, like, have they gone to one of their paths yet? There are many actions you could do throughout the challenge. Don't idle around. You can make your life easier by not idling around and doing important stuff. There's Tom top vent. Overheating Tom top vent, of course, bad idea. You've already heard me explain why it's bad to overheat Tom top vent, like earlier on. But yeah, don't do that. Don't overheat Tom vent. You're only making your life harder for Tom. Tom will be harder to deal with if you overheat him Tom vent. Right there. This was confusing. This is something that's very confusing to me. He placed the audio lure on camera 2A. But why? If I go back to last time we had cameras, as you can see here, he's here. Audio lure, it's not playing. He doesn't even notice. Like, again, if you notice, if you pay attention, you could know that, oh no, the audio lure is not playing. I should play audio lure before doing anything else. He should have done this, but he didn't. And yeah, that's not that good overall. You try making yogurt, the audio is still not playing. Now what he absolutely should have done is after Darknet left, check the cameras and check the audio lure. If he had checked the audio lure at this moment instead of idling, then he would have had less rough time with Jeff. But he decides to idle my idea, and he then felt like doing the risk of playing the Odular here. Now, if you notice, throughout that time he played the Odular and he didn't have the Odular playing, not a single oxygen spawn alarm is playing, and temperature is at 40, so Jeff is still slowed by temperature. Now, what you should have done here is you should have played it the audio on the second floor. Jeff is still at the second floor at this point in time. He's not on the camera, and he would definitely not have enough time to make it to the first floor. So, I honestly think you could have played the audio at camera 2B and you'll still be fine with Jeff. You really have to predict Jeff's movement sometimes, like if there's any oxygen alarm, you have to pay attention to Jeff and all that. But yeah, don't play the audio. You shouldn't have played the audio here. This is a big mistake, and this makes Jeff riskier. And right there, if you notice, checking cameras. Liz. Liz is at the warehouse corner. Now, if you obviously if you've played enough of have your tree, if you have experience, that you should know. If Liz is in this camera, that means her next move is going to go to the vent. She's gonna attack the vent in the next move. So if Exploreman had noticed this and he hadn't known about this, then he wouldn't even bother checking on Liz. What? Checking the vents radar before repairing the oxygen alarm. Or he activates the left door laser for Liz. If he had seen Liz in that one camera, the warehouse corner, he wouldn't have needed to do this, and this honestly just wastes power more than anything. And yeah, as you can see, Liz at the vent radar, vent attacking the vent, right there. And now, and as you can see, it's hard to hear, but right here, the audio for Liz entering the vent has just played. So Liz was in the vent for a very short amount of time, and he activated the vents for Liz right away. He should have waited at least like 7 to 8 seconds before activating the vent. I'd even go as far as to say, wait like 10 seconds before activating this vent laser. Because Liz just arrived there, and activating the vent this early, this wastes power. This wastes a lot of laser power, and this is obviously bad for many reasons, so don't do that. Wait for Liz. The ideal situation, again, you want to ideally recharge the laser power only one time maximum throughout this entire challenge, so it's good to consume laser power. And if you want to know an explanation, the reason why you want to recharge laser power only one time at max is because the more you recharge systems, the more time you're spending doing something else other than anything important. If a system happens to be broken and you're repairing the laser power, then you're spending a lot more time in the maintenance panel, and this could be really bad because like someone can slip in, like Tom, of course, or Jeff could like run past the audio, and it's just overall really bad. So at most, you should have only one repair or one reset laser charge in the maintenance panel at all. So yeah, so don't activate the ventilator for this early. Yeah. He knows the 2 minute mark, he changed temperature, very good. Dealing with Chatterjack is usually a really good time to change temperature, so really good on him for remembering about that. Of course, Mindy's here, so I'll get late a little bit. And I'm not sure if you're there. Right there. Liz left. Liz made the leaving sound cue. Liz is no longer at the vents. You're wondering, why is Exploreman leaving that vent activated? He still has the vent activated. Wasting lots of power, and yeah, there you go. He finally deactivates the right vent laser. This wastes a lot of power, leaving it on for that long. Not good overall. It's not good. Um, I'm pretty sure like 'cause he makes this exact same mistake later on. I'm pretty sure he doesn't even know the sound cue for Liz leaving. And of course, again, if you had experience, this wouldn't be a problem. Experience matters, yada yada. We're talking. Yeah, shower time, no at the same time. Good that he decides to like turn off the lights at that time. It's a good thing to do because like, you can't time it well if you if like there's loud sounds playing while the round is playing. So it's good that he took the sacrifice on half his power. And oh, I missed something. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Where is it? Right. Getting rid of the Mice Mindy, and the Mice Mindy's gone, right? Change temperature back to 80. It's 2:16 a.m. You have to change that temperature to 80 to deal with Zack properly. But he doesn't do this. He forgets. He forgets to change his temperature to 80 in the maintenance panel. This is obviously a big mistake because it makes Zack hard to deal with. Yeah, temperature is still at 70. Only now he finally he can finally change temperature to 80 at this time. He spent so long having temperature at 70. Don't have temperature be at 50, 60, or 70 at all, except for the Mice Mindy's attack. That's not a good idea to have it at that time. But yeah, I'm gonna go back because another mistake he made here. You notice this. Two system errors. You have to repair the camera system and the audio system. Now, if you know my guide, then you'd know that there is prioritization. Always repair the camera system first, and then the oxygen font next, and then audio system last. Cameras first, oxygen, then audio. Really important that you repair the camera system first because of something like challenge will have here being in the event or like an immediate threat you have to deal right away. So obviously you should repair the camera system here, but he delays himself. He doesn't even select a system. He closes the maintenance panel and activates the left door laser before finally choosing the system to repair. Now, this was quite a mistake. You should be repairing a system right away. Like by the time you finish doing the action, then the system would have already been like over half repaired, which would be good. But this is not what happened here, so obviously this is not good. But it's fine again. It's away. Yeah, making sure. Oh, yeah. Like look, what he does here, it's pretty good actually. Actually, one thing he did. He's keeping temperature at 70. He should keep it at 80. It's 2 minutes and 46 seconds in the night. You should have temperature be at 80 at this point in time, but he forgets. This was a really big mistake for Zack, but I mean, it's fine. It's not like yeah. He's getting lucky with Zack anyway. Zack hasn't arrived at the window yet, so it's pretty good, I guess. But really should have changed temperature like earlier on. But, like Zack later on will become more troublesome now that he's making this mistake. Go back. Right here, what he does here, he repairs the camera system, goes into the ventilator to check for anyone, and sees that Tom is there, overreads Tom, and then finally he repairs the audio system. This was a really good, very good. Props to Exploreman. This was a good thing to make use of, a good tip. Don't repair two systems at the same time. Check the vents radar, maybe even Jeff. I'd add Jeff in there like as well. Check if the audio's playing for Jeff. Then also check the vents radar, and if both are dealt with, then repair the second system. So repair first system, deal with your threats, then repair second system, and you're good. That's really good, and this was a good thing he used. Really helped him out with Tom. If he had not done this, then there was a chance Tom would have slid through the right vent, and then Tom would have killed him. So this could have potentially saved his life because he did this. So pretty good. And yeah, he finally at this point in time he finally changed time to the 80 at last. Yeah, Audulor wasn't playing for a while. Not for a little bit, I guess. Yeah. And besides, playing the Audulor on that camera right there, camera 4A, this again was unnecessary. There has been no oxygen alarms that has been like going off at this point in time. So at most, you should play the Audulor at this camera 3A, because like you don't see Jeff here, so Jeff could not make it to camera 5A in time. Definitely not. Jeff is not that fast. Only when the oxygen alarm is playing, but he's not. There has been no alarm playing, so no alarm going off, so play the audio lore count here because like again you get the benefits of the Gemmy strategy. I will cover this next episode, but for now, you could utilize the Gemmy strategy if you audio lore Jeff on this camera, but he did it on this camera and he didn't have to. This kind of waste Jeff more, but it's fine. Like you really have to predict the alarms and predict Jeff, like what will happen. So he didn't have to do that if he paid more attention, but it's fine. I'm gonna go back a bit. Yeah, something crazy actually happens here. It's there. Oh no, he has to shock him. Like this happened with Iamnothere one as well, but Iamnothere didn't notice. Exploreman knows about this, so he did it. He shocked Tom, and as you can see, right before clicking the shock button, Shattered Milk and Yogurt moved that camera. I'll try playing this again, hold on. It was really tough. I'll play this in slow motion because it's really hard to notice this. Right there. It's so hard to like, oh my god. Is it? I passed it. How the heck did I pass it? It plays extremely fast. Just like that? Right there. As you could see it. Shattered Milk and Yogurt moved there in time. Of course, you wouldn't notice this in the normal run, but what you can notice, in fact, he shocked Tom, but Shattered Milk and Yogurt's like leave sound he played. That means he shocked Shattered Milk and Yogurt at the same time, which was very lucky, first of all, but I don't think Exploreman notices this. You could notice this happening by listening to the audio cue. It's kind of like obvious, like when you hear the sound playing, but he didn't notice. It's fine. But yeah, if he had noticed, he wouldn't have had to worry about Sharon McNote for a while. But as you can see, he checks the cameras where they're at, but he's not sure of the position. And look, it's Fred, right here. I didn't include this in my guide. I don't think it's hard to get an Easter egg, but it's an Easter egg character. It's Fred. It's the OC character of Shad, one of the creators of this game. You know, self-insert, you know. It's a thing with the Phantom Squad games. Oh, we could have here Sheriff, Shadow Knight. They always gotta have their self-insert OC Easter eggs in this game. But why not? For fun. It seems like this confuses Exploreman, which I find really funny. Oh no, that's a character I've never seen before. Yeah. It's nothing, it's just an Easter egg. He's slow here, he's slow. As you can hear, like right here. There, bang. Shattered Evil Havers in the vent. Bang bang. But he doesn't check. He does a few actions before even checking. He checks this camera, checks for Liz. I don't think Exploreman even knows about the talent cue that Shattered Evil Haver makes. I don't even know if he noticed, because he should have checked the ventilator like way sooner. Because again, like Shadow Evil have during the vent, go for it right away. Always do that right away, but he spent so long not checking, which is a bit weird to me. And again, he's activating the left door laser too early for Liz. Power right now. Oh. The power, he is at 67 power. Oh, yeah, bad. Bad number. Anyways, ignoring that. Activate the laser like right now. We should have waited way longer again. Don't activate the laser for Liz too early. That's not a good idea. Should have waited way lot longer. Liz left. Deactivate the laser right away. Go back, deactivate the laser. Your laser power is at 40, but it's fine. You could survive with 40 power until the next Liz attack. It's fine. But he just doesn't do this. Yeah, he resets the laser power. He doesn't have to do that. This is like the second or third time he resets the laser power. Not ideal. It's only halfway in the run and he's already resetting laser power like a lot. Again, the ideal amount of times you want to reset laser power in a Cartoon's Massacre run is at most 1. The best situation is 0, but it's risky, so ideally 1. But yeah, he's repairing the system again. He should have to do this, but Again, I don't think Exploreman knows about the sound cue Liz makes whenever she leaves. Because yeah, Liz makes a pretty loud sound cue whenever she leaves, but I don't think Exploreman knows about it. Again, comes from experience. You would know about this if you played through the game itself. Yada yada. Oh no, find the real Javier. There's the real one. Very good. I'd say you could have stalled the My Javier a little bit more. It takes them a little bit before jump scaring you. You could have spent a little bit more time doing something else before dealing with the My Javier. You know, just to be a bit more efficient, you know. The vent radar, vent radar, vent radar. Again, he's not checking the vent radar a lot there. He finally checks the vent radar. He spends a while checking the vent radar. So look. Still not checking the vent radar, still checking. I would have checked the vent radar as soon as I opened the cameras, but it's fine. He survived. But again, he's lucky temperature is at 80 currently, because like Tom probably would have gotten through the bomb vent. He probably would have killed you if temperature was not 80. So you can check the vent radar as much as possible. Very important. And again, Shattered Evil Javier just entered the vents. The bang sound played. Again, he doesn't get rid of him right away. He doesn't even go in the cameras and overheat him. I don't think Exploreman knows about the sound cue, which, of course, this is one of the most important sound cues in all of Cartoon's Massacre. I'm not sure how he doesn't know about this, especially with how important it is and how loud it is. But I guess he's not used to it. Which again, this would never happen. This would be impossible to not be able to hear that and like pay attention to it. Absolutely impossible if he played through the main game and unlocked the custom night normally, because this sound cue is especially important for the good ending of the game. Night 7 good ending is like a boss fight between like you and Terry will have here by himself. And this sound cue plays a lot during that night, so this would never happen if he played through the game normally. Because yeah, again, experience matters. You really have to have good amount of experience to do this. Again, idling. Idling in the office. You should do something. Don't just stick around and do nothing. You could like check the cameras. I get that you want temperature to be lower and you don't want to go in the cameras with the lights off, but this is like you have to remember, Darknet cannot attack you if a demise character is attacking you, because Darknet and the demise characters they stall each other out. So demise while attacking, that means Darknet is good. Darknet will not attack you at all, and you should be checking the cameras here. Check for Jeff, check the vent radar, check for Sharon looking their position, like check if there's like check for like Mr. Springlock, check if Mr. Springlock is still in the camera with Jeff. Again, there's so many things you can do here. But he decides to idle. Bad idea. Here comes Shire Jack. Yeah. One thing that's actually really good. He checks the vent radar while dealing with Shire Jack. This is really good. It's always advised to check the vent radar at least one time while dealing with Shire Jack, so that you won't risk a Tom death. So yeah, good thing he did this. Really good tip he's making use of. Way, good. With Tom, very good. And right here, right after dealing with Tom, I would go close the camera and like wind Jack's music box even more. He's letting Jack's music box wind down a lot, which is risky. Cause like definitely Shadow Jack will attack at least one more time. So having it be slow is very risky. Yeah, right here. Oh no, every error is happening at once. This is a bad situation, but this probably wouldn't have happened if he checked the maintenance panel more often. If I go back here, he doesn't check the maintenance panel for a while. Winding up Jack, checking here. I would check the maintenance panel here. If he checked the maintenance panel now, he would notice the audio error probably is there, and like he would repair the audio while dealing with Charge Jack. Very good to have to do that, but he didn't check the maintenance panel at all, so he could have only had camera error plus oxygen font at the same time, not including the audio error. But since he's not checking the maintenance panel, he's also has to deal with all three errors at once. Not good, but it's fine. Yeah. Uh, and yeah, right here. Wrong prioritization. This is what causes Exploreman to die. Very bad prioritization. He repairs the audio system first. Out of like all three errors are happening right now. What's the first thing you repair? The camera system, of course. Because if he had repaired the camera system first, there, Shari will have your recent events. He could have survived. He actually could have survived if he repaired the camera system first. The audio system is the lowest priority because Jeff can be like stalled a little bit. You could just not deal with Jeff for a while. It's fine. But because he repaired the audio error before the camera error, he risked the situation of having an important camera character at the moment while dealing with the repairing, and that exact thing happened. Shadow will have your attack while dealing with the other lore, and right here is what caused him to die. So he once again he should have absolutely done the camera error first. And here he repairs the oxygen font before the camera system, despite hearing the loud bang from Shadow you will have during the vent. This is really bad. He's repairing the systems in the reverse order. But again, camera system first, then the oxygen font, then the audio. He's doing it in the reverse order, and because he's doing it in the reverse order, he can't deal with anyone after repairing one system. So he repairs audio lore, he can't like deal with someone before like repairing our system. Like he can't make use of my tip. So he's forced to repair all three in a row before doing any more actions, and of course, it is really bad. And of course, this is when Shadow Inhabitor gets into the room and he dies. Yeah, you should not prepare the camera system last. That's always like top priority. And yeah, that's it. That's it for the run. He died to Shadow Inhabitor because he repaired the audio first. But yeah, now that's the end of the run, and as usual, I will go ahead and re-review the run, and I will come back to if I find something interesting that I missed. I'll come back to it. Yeah, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Unrelated, completely unrelated, but something funny I want to mention because I never noticed this somehow. But if you look at the bottom right of the screen, Exploreman added a little dancing binding of Isaac character. It's silly. I like it a lot. I don't know. I never noticed that somehow, but yeah, that's cute. I like that. That's all. I not even related to the game in any way. It's just that it's funny. I like it. Okay. One thing I do want to add because I this is an extension to what I said earlier, but pay attention to what happens in this clip. Okay. I'll give you a bit context. Liz has just left the window. Liz recently left the front office window, and now she is either in the darknet camera or in the left door camera. Look, he actually checks camera 6A. He checks if Liz is there. Liz is not there. And he checks camera 3A, checks that, and sees Liz is actually there. So yeah, he checked both spots that Liz would be in, and he knows he should now definitely know Liz is going to the second floor. Yeah, all is well, right? He now knows not to check for the left door camera, he now knows not to the left door laser, but still, he activates the left door laser despite checking the Liz positions and seeing that she was actually going to the second floor. He even checked camera 6A and checked if Liz was there, but she's not, and he still activates the laser. I don't know why he did this. I think maybe Exploreman thought that the camera was panned all the way to the left, so he couldn't see if Liz was there, but that's false. You still can see if Liz is in that camera if the camera is panned all the way to the left. You could still see her. So again, this is not something that would happen if you had experience with the challenge. You would know that. But that's something I just felt like pointing out because yeah, that's all. I missed that little thing. Right here, I think I didn't really point out, but kind of did, but not really. But right there, you actually heard Liz left. Liz recently left the right vent. That was Liz finishing up her first attack. Liz has just finished attacking for the first time, and he already resets the laser power. I don't think. Wait. That was Liz's first attack. Let me double check. Yeah, that was. I'm pretty sure. Right? Am I? I'm not stupid, right? Hold on. Actually, let me check back again. I have to make sure this is actually Liz's first attack before mentioning this. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, I just checked. Yeah, I had to make sure that was Liz's first attack, and already he's preparing the laser power after Liz's first attack only. Now this is obviously not good. Now you would normally reset laser power after like 3 Liz attacks, like the ideal situation. Unless of course, obviously there are other things that can cause like laser to like deplete. Like if Tom goes into the right vent, you should use laser on him. And if Mr. Springlock, they have to use laser on Mr. Springlock sometimes, but 2 to 3 times. 2 times, deal with Liz 2 times, and that's when you would use the reset laser power once. And then, like, no more resetting laser power, and then you'll be good for the rest of the night. Of course, I'd go for 3, but that's if you're really conservative, but you don't have to be that conservative. Like, after 2 Liz attacks, laser power, and then, yeah, you could save a lot of time resetting systems, and that will save you a lot of, time that you could have spent doing something better with, your time, doing with other characters, you know. Okay, something I want to point out because this does happen here. I will play the clip for you. Listen carefully. I apologize if you can't hear because like the audio is low, but listen carefully. Did you hear the vent sound? That is specifically Tom in the right vent. That's nothing else. That vent sound is specifically Tom in the right vent. Notice how it's loud and noticeable. A lot more so than when he attacks in the other vents. This, once again, is something you can make use of because Tom has passed through the top vent. Because Exploreman made Tom go through the top vent, not intentionally, but it happened. Tom went to the top vent, he went to the right vent, and you could hear him clearly. This is, of course, really good, and something you can make use of to help yourself deal with Tom easier. So, again, this is a situation where proof of how Tom is easier to deal with when you make him go through the top vent. Don't overheat him there, make him go through. That's all. Okay, one last thing I want to mention. As you can see, it's hard to see, but Liz is right there. Liz is switching around behind Sarah Jack. And yeah, alarm's going off. This is the part where he dies, but as you can see, Liz left. Exploreman knows Liz left, so he activates the right and left. He's panicking, of course. All the system errors are happening. He can't check for Liz. But there is no reason to activate the right vent laser because you could use a sound cue to like hear if Liz is there. You could like the sound that Liz makes whenever she enters the vent that she is attacking from. It's quite loud and quite lengthy, so you could hear that. You don't have to activate the right vent laser. Of course, activating activating the left door laser is valid because you can't see if she's there or not, or if she's going to the vent. Fine, he's panicking, it's alright. But the right is just not necessary, and again, wastes a lot more power than needed. Of course, as usual, rock prioritization, he dies from carrying out yada yada. And there you go. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this run, and pretty much it for this episode. And yeah, as you can see, like, at the end of the day, like these two, like Exploreman and Iamnothere, they never actually got to be challenged. They only submitted their maximum of the week run and moved on with their lives. And yeah, it's understandable why this challenge obviously they had a completely different experience compared to all the other Cartoons Massacre players, and overall had a negative experience with the game and the match mode itself. And they ended up not liking the challenge because of the way they tackled the challenge. Because yeah, using a 100% save file to tackle these challenges is not a good idea, and yeah, as you can see, their experiences and the way they play largely affected by it, and they didn't like challenge, so they stopped playing because they just weren't enjoying it. That's fine, understandable. Cartoons Massacre and Hard Swap Love is not a challenge for everyone to enjoy. There are people who just don't like brainy max modes where you have to quickly adapt and like everything can happen, like you have to like be ready, like so many situations can happen. They like it's not something everyone can enjoy. And like these players, they usually prefer like more of those like runs where difficulty comes from all of the speed that you need to get more precision. Maybe even scripted challenges they prefer a lot more, but this challenge is not really much of that. It is quite literally the very opposite of scripted, where pretty much anything can happen. Anything you can imagine, there's like a million situations that can happen. You can name all of them, and they all be completely different. So yeah, of course, uh, I don't blame these players for not getting it, for not playing correctly. It's not their fault. It's the fact that the sound was not one of the weak. That's the main reason why they had to play like this. And it's I don't like. I'm not hating on them again. Exploreman and Iamnothere, they're cool people. They're good. They did a few good things for the community, and overall, again, Exploreman, just like Iamnothere, he makes some good videos. If you're a fan of max mode content, go check out his channel. I will leave the link of their channels in the description as usual. But yeah, props to them for being able to beat this either way, even despite how complicated it is. Congrats to them for beating it. And yeah, overall, it's fine. It's completely normal to have this happen. And I had little talks with them afterwards, talk to them about the challenge a little bit. And yeah, they're genuinely, I can tell they're good people. Exploreman and I'm not here, they're good. And yeah, they're cool to hang out with sometimes. I could see that they're making some, uh, friends alongside, the others in the Maxwell server. They're pretty good. Yeah, I'm not good at ending the video. Sorry, I don't know how to do an outro. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much for watching this episode of Overanalyzing Cardiff Massacre. A bit of a special one because I'm covering two runs in one. Two in one special, eh? But yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next episode of Overanalyzing Cardiff Massacre where I take on the Jemmy strategy. And yeah, that's it. See y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. And yeah, thank you so much for to Exploreman and I'm here for allowing me to use their videos as usual with physical stuff. Yeah, support them as well. I think they deserve some support, both of them. And yeah, thank you for watching again, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.